Okay, Rambam, learning the laws of purity.
This is
Maimonides.
Maimonides.
No, you're not Ramban. Ramban? Rambam.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah. No. It's very easy to.
They live. Did they ever?
No, because the Rambam lives probably they missed each other.
Okay.
Rambam passed away in 11 something, and he passed away 1204. Yeah, 11 early, I think. No, 11.
He was born. Yeah, he passed away 11 something.
Right. What does it say? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh no, you're right. 1170 to 1270. 1195 to 1270.
Was that Ramban? Oh, okay, to 1270. So I was off. Okay. Right, to 1270. Okay. Yeah. So like 1260. Yeah. Okay. So Azav, which is an impurity, Azav or Azava that have an emission that's not a regular emission, a woman that gave birth or a woman that's in Nida, they impart impurity to articles on which one lies, sits, or rides in 5 ways. By standing above them, sitting above them, lying above them, hanging from them, or leaning on them. So what is implied? When there is an article on which one lies, sits, or rides, even if it is under a stone, right? And a stone, cannot become impure. So you're sitting on a stone, and underneath the stone you have something, right? A stone cannot become impure, right? So if one of the persons who imparts impurity to articles on which one lies, stands, or on the stone, hangs from it or leans on it, right? Since it is in some way supported by the article, it becomes a primary source of impurity. Any of these 5 acts is included in the term midrash whenever it is used. So let's say someone is impure and they're sitting on a rock, or they're just leaning on the rock, right? They're just leaning. Imagine this is a rock leaning. So that which is underneath it, because the rock can't become impure, right? Only articles that are man-made things that are utensils of usefulness, right? They can become impure. That's the law. And so even though you're not touching it, you're just leaning on this rock. Underneath it is a chair, right? But you're not touching the chair. If you're touching the chair, then you're touching it, right? You're just leaning on it. Just the fact that you're leaning on it, that will make the chair a source of impurity. It becomes impure. And as we've explained, impurity means that you can't use it for holy occasions like going to the holy temple. You can't take that chair now and go to the holy temple and use it to sit in the holy temple when you want to, eat your Meiser Sheni, your food, holy food that you're eating on the holidays or the sacrifices that you're bringing in. You're going to have that chair to sit on. You can't use that chair. That chair would have to become purified, as we'll learn. Purified just means it goes into a body of water, of a mikvah, to become purified. But here we're just learning that even leaning on this thing, right, if you're impure in one of these 4 fashions, will make that chair impure. And again, you can't take it to the holy temple. Could you use it to eat breakfast? Yes, because you don't have to eat breakfast in a state of purity. Okay? Could you, yeah. So what is implied? When there is an article on which one lies, sits, or rides, even if it's under a stone, a bunch of persons imparts impurity to the article on which one lies, sits, or sign, hangs from it, leans from it, since it was some way supported. Okay, we did this, yeah. Any of these 5 acts is included in the term. Okay, I'm sorry, we did the whole thing. Okay, number 2. Similarly, An object in which one lies or rides or imparts impurity to a person in 7 ways. In the 5 listed, the previous Safa, and by touching and by carrying. So what is implied? So say, when a Zav was supported by an article, like I just showed you, on which one lies or rides, right, like you're riding, and thus imparts impurity to it. If a person touches or carries that article, he contracts impurity. So let's say you're riding on a horse and you're impure with one of these 4 impurities. Or no, let's say you lie on a blanket, and underneath you have got a bunch of pillows. So you're not touching the pillows, right? So they come impure by the law of lying on it because you're impure. Those pillows become impure, right? Now what happens if
Blanket in between us, but
doesn't separate it? No, that's the uniqueness of this law, right?
guess what?
That's the uniqueness of this law, that it doesn't separate it,
Yeah.
right? Now that article became impure. It imparts impurity. That if now another person came in that was pure and touched those pillows, they become impure, right? Now the impurity just means that they can't go that day to the holy temple to eat, to eat holy foods there or to bring a sacrifice. It means they would have to go to the mikveh that day to become pure, and they can go the following day, right? So that's not the issue over here. The question is, what's the parameter of what makes somebody impure, right? All of this is beyond logic, but these are the parameters of the law, okay? So it imparts impurity if a person touches the article or carries it. Let's say you carried the pillow. Now, if you touch the pillow, carrying it doesn't make a difference, right? But let's say someone put it into a bag for you. The pillow that's impure, put it into a shopping bag, and now you're carrying it. Guess what? You're impure. Because it's another way to contract impurity.
blanket lying on top of the blanket.
Right, but now we're talking about another person. A second person is carrying it, not you. You're impure. The person who made it impure, that they're impure already, right? The question is, who else is now going to be affected by it? Right.
Still contaminates.
Yes. Similarly, one contracts impurity if one sits on it, stands on it, lies on it, hangs from it, or leans on it. Even if there's a stone separating between the person and that who was pure and the impure support, as it states, one who sits on the article on which a Zav had sat. So let's say I'm pure and someone made this chair impure, right, by sitting on it. Was a stone on top of it, and stone doesn't become impure. Why? Because it's not man-made, right? God-made. So those God-made things do not. Well, no, it becomes impure because you are impure in such a manner that underneath you, by sitting, you make that impure. Now, a pure person comes and sits on the rock, he becomes impure. Even why? Because underneath it is the impurity. This is the uniqueness of this law. Okay, we're going to stop over here because it's Erev Yom Kippur and many things must do, but at least we got a taste for today. All right, Gemar Chasima Tova, good Geben Shiyar, everybody, a sweet year, a healthy year. Hashem should give us everything that we need for our hearts' desire for good, above and beyond. Most importantly, we should dance to the final redemption with the Rebbe leading us.
Amen.
Amen. Thank you.
Amen.